help apply her tattoos.
Yeah, and how many times are they going to ask her when she goes to cons how long it takes to put the tattoos on?
If I'm the guy applying it, as long as I get messed up, I think we need to do this all over again.
Is it just me, or are they like test marketing everything in the world on TV? Because there's no new ideas coming out in movies.
As a matter of fact, I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah,
Blind
that's
Spot.
part of the reason.
Yeah.
Blind Spot versus Limitless. Which one? If you had to pick one, and yes, you have to pick one, you three. If you had to pick one, which one are you going to watch? Blind Spot or Limitless?
Blind Spot, because there's a naked woman with tattoos on her.
Blind Spot, because I haven't seen anything on Limitless yet.
See, blacklist producers are the ones behind Blind Spot. Or
Now, Limitless wasn't even a successful movie. Successful enough to get a TV show.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a good film. A lot of people liked it. It was a decent film.
Right.
Limitless. Look, I have a hard time deciding between the two because I'm not they don't have me yet because I'm not really a fan of that particular television show.
The saturation of Blind Spot for me makes me almost want to not watch it.
But I'm a fan of Jamie Alexander.
Yes. But
I love her in the Thor films.
If you have to go through that much to lock me into
she's
something,
naked, so I'll have to go with.
Okay, well let me add a twist to that then.
Okay.
Blind Spot, Limitless, or Minority Report.
Looking for the naked woman.
I think that I really like the idea of the whole Minority Report storyline.
But they also have so much possibility of screwing up so much.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't think the movie was great by any means.
What?
But it was enough interesting that I was more than willing to watch it, and I'd probably watch it again if it showed up on TV or something.
So they have
don't hurt him; he's young.
The things that they can screw up. For example, the future. It's set in the future, so they're determining our future. There's the first place they can screw up. And just that alone, I mean, fight scenes, special effects, story. There's a lot there.
Spielberg is my generation's Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can't. I mean, a Minority Report, hands down.
I just wish they had tried a little harder into making this show look like the film a little bit more, because a lot of the cityscape scenes and everything. I'm not saying that it has to be the movie, but if you're going to do a television version of a Spielberg movie, you at least got to get the cinematography to look just slightly better, just slightly.
Well, and
other than that,
most movies set in the future, the cinematography is almost always better because it's set in the future.
But I mean, for Minority Report, it had a very distinctive look.
Right.
And so without it, it's going to make it a harder sell for this television series. Now, it can still be a good series, but I would have at least tried to, given digital technology now that we have, you should be able to at least approximate the look of that movie.
Well, I think I've seen, and what I've seen from the trailers and everything, it feels like they just kind of put another white filter on it, just so you couldn't tell as much of the stuff they don't have in there. It just feels a lot more whitewashed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The film's a little darker and a little on the bluish side. And then, it's like went to the entire opposite ends. Like, let's just whitewash everything.
Yeah, but like Gotham. I mean, look at Gotham. I've been to places that look like Gotham. That isn't my Gotham. But the series is doing well. It's standing up for its storyline. I mean, it's just it's going to have to translate a little bit differently.
Well,
I see what you're saying though. With the CG available now, it seems like it's almost just a cop out not to. Have some green walls and stuff where you can have some flying cars.
I could see how, going down that road, then you're going, well, they're going to compare us to the Spielberg movie. And who wants to try to compete with Steven Spielberg? But here's my thing. You're doing a television version of one of his movies.
That came out when?
A long time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, most people with a 16-year-old with a good Macintosh computer can do the effects that they use in the immersive movie.
And look at the cast. Look at the cast that film had.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If you're not going to have any of those things, and something tells me they're filming this in Canada, then you at least have to get the look in there. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So maybe I'm asking too much.
And actually, you're asking just enough for me to move on to my next topic that I've been dying to approach, because there's a rumor out there about the next Netflix series. And what I want to know from you guys, I've got some options for you.
What rumor? I mean, the trailer's already hit with Jessica, and it looks
Right.
good.
It looks
Everybody
great.
seen David Tennant in that one?
Yep.
Oh my goodness! And now Luke Cage. That cast is blowing up.
What would you like to see next? If I give you these, I'm going to give you these options: Moon Knight, Punisher, Deathlock, or Spider-Woman. What would you like as a standalone series?
Standalone series?
Standalone Netflix series.
Blade.
Blade wasn't of those four.
What do you got against Blade?
Actually, because I didn't like the series at all.
I'm not talking about the series, and look who did
That's
that.
okay. I wasn't talking about Blade. I said Moon Knight, Punisher, Deathlock, or Spider-Woman.
I would have to say I'd like to see either Deathlock or Moon Knight, but I don't think I'd like to see all of them, of course. But I don't think they all need their own standalone series. If they got like one, 90-minute special each kind of thing,
Right.
to put it into the universe, that's more.
Well, it's Netflix, so you can almost do whatever you want.
I mean, just one kind of movie, extended special episode, and then tie it back in somewhere else in the Daredevil or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
Blade would be cheaper.
I'm impressed with what's happened with Spider-Man, like at this point. And I mean, so like, and the thing is there's a lot of different aspects of how you approach that story.
Mm-hmm.
I think Spider-Woman would be an amazing way to almost get it back to center.
Yeah, but they can't have that. But she technically is with Sony.
Right.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
So
so there's still
that's the reason why you go with Blade. That's the reason why I picked Blade.
people that make me depressed are going to continue to make me depressed.
With our two halfway big comic book readers, Moon Knight is a very unappreciated character.
I think
Very well done. First of all, as a kid, when I was introduced to Moon Knight, I thought that was one of the baddest costumes on the planet.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is.
Even though they redid it with Taskmaster, I still thought Moon Knight was. I wanted me to be. I like Moon Knight. I'm Moon Knight all day long.
Yeah.
And
but you also have to understand, they're only going for ideas to spend a certain amount of money on them. Okay.
Moon Knight would be expensive. Moon Knight would be.
That's
I don't
yeah.
think it translates. I mean, that's.
I think it will, but you have to be willing to spend that money, and the mouse does not easily open up the wallet.
Well, and that's why I think we don't need to do a full series of any of this. Just one movie, Netflix original movie, boom, that's it. That's all you need. It'll give fans something else they can see. It'll give things more licensing, more this and that.
Yeah.
So
So what's your favorite Netflix original movie?
it'll be Moon Knight when it comes out.
No.
Well,
Okay.
because that's my point. Is like it's a test market. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a background in marketing.
Yes.
I don't want to put everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
But they're not doing this because they want to make your favorite, comic
Right.
book series come to life. They're doing it because they're trying to figure out how much money they can eventually make off of it.
and so far, the characters that they picked up to this point, leading straight into the Defenders. Again, you're not talking about any of these TV movies, of which I cannot wait until Iron Fist.
As long as they don't screw it up. I've always done my big thing with doing
after Daredevil.
After doing Luke
are you
Cage.
putting that out there after Daredevil?
I'm putting that out there after what Marvel did with the Luke Cage character for most of my life. Okay.
You're going to enjoy Luke Cage when you see it. Trust me.
I better.
You will. You will. If you enjoyed Daredevil and you like what you've seen with Jessica Jones, you're going to enjoy the end.
I'm not even a fan of them actually doing a Jessica Jones thing. That I know why, I get it, but is it necessary, really?
If you knew why, then yes, it's necessary. They're getting their beat big time. I mean, they have yet to release one single film or television series up to this point that's female driven.
Yep.
Okay, you got to do it.
Spider-Woman. That was the other reason I choose it.
Sony.
Yeah, I know.
Can't do it. MCU can't do
Somebody
it.
can make it happen.
Not yet.
You can only rent the characters, and the mouse can't own it fully
So
the way
they
they
won't do
want. So they can't do it.
Well, they didn't ask what was going to happen. I said what you want to happen.
Yeah. Well, Blade. Blade.
Speaking of what you want to happen, Brandon, you and Keith both are huge comic book readers, and we have a comic book creator with us. So topic's gonna turn out kind of weird. I'm assuming
only when you ask.
You set it up like that.
DC, I don't know how the decision is made to drop titles.
It's probably just what sells better.
That couldn't possibly be it because they dropped Guardians 3 times and it was selling just fine in my opinion. But they just recently released was it 8 titles that they released that they're dropping?
Mm-hmm. Eight titles that's on their chopping block now. Most of them through the end of December. There's a whole bunch of different reasons that you could think that they could just be having problems with writers, they could have problems with that. But I mean,
unfortunately, our good friend Cullen.
Yeah, he has
is on some of those titles, am I correct?
He's on 2 of them. The Green Lantern Lost Army series, he's a writer on that, as well as the Lobo series is on the chopping block. So,
I don't think he's really crying about those.
Yeah, I don't.
Given the fact that he's doing a brand new X-Men book.
Yes, I know.
So,
I know, but I actually like the Lobo series.
Lobo's good.
Lobo's a great character that I think that they ought to take the chance and put in their movie world, but I know they won't yet.
Okay, you're spending their money. You realize this, right?
I spend their money. Lobo is a character that could actually have a lot.
I don't think they have enough room to flesh out a Lobo character enough to be worth the money they would have to spend to put him in.
Yeah, that's R rating, just like Deadpool, but minus a lot of the laughs.
Lobo is just brutal.
Yeah, it's just brutal. It's blood on the screen. It's
and
Deadpool.
Yet they have
not
the audacity to put him in the actual cartoon on Cartoon Network.
Did you see him for very long?
No. It wasn't actually even that good.
Oh, well, then there you go. Okay.
Although it did really make me appreciate Vandal Savage a little bit more. To me, one of their most unappreciated characters that they better not screw up when they do them this year.
Oh yeah, you mean the Leftover Show.
The Leftover Show.
It's like you have Thanksgiving dinner, and then a week later you have all the leftovers.
Yeah, but Arrow and the Flash will be in there a couple times, so it'll make it good, right?
Oh. Okay,
there's so many things.
You get some new bread to add to the whole thing. It's still a leftovers dinner. It's a leftovers.
There's just so many things that can go wrong with what they're doing.
Really?
And sadly, if you think about it, Keith, if you truly admit it to yourself, there are a lot of things that can go right with that. They could.
Let me see this.
They could.
We've already screwed up the Atom.
I know. I
already screwed up the Earth 2 version of the Atom. And Greg Berlanti's now putting out the story that they're going to do a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie, and they're going to let him direct.
Oh, yeah, that's just terrible.
Yeah,
that's
not. No, that's not happening. That is not. That is a rumor that is going nowhere. That's not happening. He's not proved himself as a director. He's never been handed any amount of money like that to handle something like that. And plus, again, as I've often said, when Supergirl comes out, we'll prove whether or not he can actually handle that kind of money. I don't think it will, but that's just me.
I think we still need to give it a chance.
Yeah. No. I'm going to give it a chance.
I mean, we haven't liked a lot of things that Arrow did recently either, so...
Yeah, you mean the I Want to Be a Batman show? Yeah!
So, Brian.
Yes.
Since we're still talking about all of this comic book world, tell us about Devil's Pool.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, Devil's Pool is it's a epic supernatural story that has basically to do with an average everyday Joe that just happens to harness the power of an angel and start killing some demons. We thought it'd be fun.
That sounds like a Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's about us 40-something-year-old guys that are sitting around watching the world push us around, and we want to write a story that is a giant middle finger up in the air saying, you know what, you don't get to push us around anymore. We're gonna.
Sounds like Breaking Bad combined with Ghost Rider.
Well, no, not really Ghost Rider, but we do have we got a zombie aspect to it. There's quite a few things going on in this. But it centers around the supernatural and really the idea that there's been this massive battle going on around us for eons. And at one point now, this guy, this everyday ambulance driver, Ben Carver, he all of a sudden can kill demons, and it not only ticks off the demons.